Welcome back to TED Talks about why all Americans, all true Americans, must wake up before it is too late. Too late to stop the steady decline into the abyss of darkness, a darkness ruled by evil thoughts or evil deeds. In order to stop this decay and deterioration, each individual must regain self-awareness or self-enlightenment, that every single one of us is unique and therefore unable to fully comprehend the physical meaning of the words others use to describe their one-of-a-kind point of view of reality. All one needs to do to understand and comprehend this statement is to look around your personal life and identify the differences and conflicts prevailing in our lives and throughout the world and throughout all humanity in general. Today I'm going to transition from all my previous discussions on trying to systematically get you to understand about what I am going to talk about in the future. And this statement is relevant because if you had been following me to this point, my book, Slow Down and Love, which I offer free as an ebook at my website, tedtorog.com, is about slowing down one's life and slowing down one's pace in life. And I try to explain that any change must begin with the will or courage to want to alter the wrong course your life is headed or humanity is headed. I explain this task can be achieved by first slowing down the pace of your thoughts and deeds, by simply double filtering all thoughts through your spiritual heart and then through your physical mind, so as to reach the right, good, balanced decision for the now moment facing you at this present second in time. In all my previous talks, I have tried to get you to realize the past is over and done. It is simply that, the past. It is behind us. The only way it can affect us is if we allow it to, through memories, right or wrong, or through perceptions that could be right or wrong. So at this moment in time is the only time that your real moments can be altered. What you think, say, or do affects only the future, unless you consciously and purposefully desire to alter past truth with present lies. We see this in our government officials. We see it in many of our leaders today. We see it throughout industry. We see it throughout our families. We see it throughout ourselves. America is no longer the American dream or the America our forefathers tried to establish. As our present leaders alter and distort truth, distort history. Just simply look back over the last few years that nudging and altering just one or two words in a sentence affects the perception by others. The reason I say America is no longer the American dream that established this great country, it's because each generation there are individuals, there are leaders who think they are above truth, and they project or enforce or put their thoughts out there, and if they're in a position of power or of influence, they can affect the thinking and the minds of others, and especially those in the future who look back and say, oh, listen, that guy said this. That is not life. Life takes place right now. You look around you. This is life. This is your reality. That belief, mindset that exists within you today at this moment affects your life going forward into the future. Your choice to get up from whatever you're doing right now is a moment-to-moment choice. Making the right or wrong choice is the trick or the success that each person strives to reach. America was originally established by our forefathers as a haven for those trying to escape tyranny, taxes, regulations, the restrictions of individual rights and freedoms. And they came here and they declared in documents that each single American was entitled to unalienable rights granted by the Creator, not by the Christian God or the Muslim God or the Hindu God or whatever you believe or don't believe in. It was granted by the creative force that started this whole ball rolling in the first place 18 odd billion years ago. However, in the course of this evolution or unfoldment of history or unfoldment of time, each and every era has had a leader or a dictator or a despot or a influence that has tagged the collective mind of all humanity with certain thoughts and certain aspects that were originated from their minds and from their hearts. What I am trying to do is getting you to slow down your thinking and your thinking process by allowing all your thoughts to filter through your spiritual heart, giving them a touch of the Creator, so to speak, through the spiritual connection that comes from the heart, and it gets to your physical mind and is acted upon by those things that you've collected in the past. Now, when I say right now you can stop any pain or any agony in your life simply by refusing to recognize it as a past condition and realize that going forward you can always choose to be better, to be happier, to be more loving, to be more understanding, more caring. All the aspects that our Western civilization and our Western religions, because be honest, there are 41,000 denominations of Christianity, and within each and every one of them they have differing points of view. My book gets you to understand there is only one point of view, yours. And how you come to that point of view depends on whether or not you honestly and sincerely and truly seek self-truth, self-enlightenment, self-awareness, self-identity. Not identifying with some past person who, no different than you, came up with his thoughts from his collective accumulated experiences and beliefs. And somehow they got minions and people who were looking and seeking for answers in all the wrong places to join them. They became the Kool-Aid drinkers of that cult or of that movement or of that political party or this political party. Currently, we are facing the worst times in our lives. The original intent of our forefathers was to come to America and pursue the dream of freedom, of liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Our Constitution and Declaration of Independence grants that liberty, that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is an entitlement to every single one in the world, and especially those in America. However, my opening statement was for all true Americans to begin to realize that if you don't start right now to slow down at least the decay and deterioration caused by all this political maneuvering and deceptions as individuals vie for a power position. Truth, honesty, transparency, loving yourself, loving the Creator, loving your neighbors, and displaying this in a constant, all the time thought and action is all anyone needs. They don't need anyone in the past to tell them how to think and act. It's all within. They can tap that creative mind or that creative consciousness through their heart by wanting and having the courage to do what is right. Currently we are in a battle with a evil that wants to destroy our way of life. They believe that they are spiritually right. They believe that they are in full contact with their God image. However, no God would ever, 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 ever condone the actions and the evil deeds done in the name of a religion. The jihadists, the Islamic radicals who even frighten their own followers, their own religion, because otherwise the good people within the Muslim community would be the ones fighting back this evil force, because you are the very first frontline sufferers of evil. Look what's happening to your women. Look what's happening to your children. Look what's happening to your general overall community and culture and region. It is being usurped by evil leaders. Not by a group, but one or two or three leaders who can use the internet and get out and reach into lost souls' minds who have nothing but hate for the physical Western world, because what they use is our physical successes, our materialistic successes, and they say, look, those people are so evil that the movie stars, the rich people, they don't care about the poor people, and the poor people of the Western world are just like you Muslims who have nothing. This is wrong. This is evil. This is not the teachings of a just, fair God. Now, we see this, we see it every day in the news. We see that our leaders, especially our president, doesn't have the will or the courage to recognize and acknowledge that we are fighting evil, pure and simple. That evil is radical, extremist, Islamic leaders, who have distorted the true meaning of God. No God would encourage the savagery and the barbaric actions perpetrated on their own kind. I mean, they say we're coming after the Western world, but thousands and thousands and thousands of their own blood lines are being mutilated and crucified and beheaded and burned. Now, this savagery should awaken all Americans. However, America is no longer the melting pot that our forefathers created. It has become the slop pot of ideas. Anyone and everyone has an idea, but anyone who gets the attention of a few like-minded people become despots. They become politically correct tyrants who are trying to impose their will and their views onto others. Now, throughout my previous talks, I have been trying to say that there is only one law, and Jesus sort of summarized it in to do unto others as you would have done unto you, and if you don't love yourself, you're not going to love others. And this appears to be the case with the evil empire growing in the East. And they are loving the wrong part of God. They are loving the wrong message from God. So they can't love themselves because a true God would do no harm. And that's what I try to get across to each and every one of you, that you first must do no harm. You must not infringe on the rights and the freedoms of others. Currently, our leaders are battling over this, and one side wants to take from the rich and the free and give to the less fortunate. They're doing it the wrong way. They got the right idea, but they don't force and infringe and do harm to others in order to help others. What have you achieved? You've just exchanged the pain and suffering from one group to another, and you're creating a larger dependent caste system that believes the truth in this now moment. I beseech you to follow me. Starting next week, we get into Slow Down and Love. I assure you, and I guarantee you, that if you honestly join with me, because each week I'm going to talk about the chapters and give you the true meaning and purpose I meant. I don't want after I pass away someone say, oh, let's go see what this guy meant. What I meant is what I'm going to emphasize in my subsequent discussions. So I ask you to get all your friends and all your family and all your enemies and anyone that you can reach out through and to the internet to join us starting next week, because I am going to, and I promise you, I am going to teach you how easy it is to do the right thing at every now moment in your life going forward. So, until we meet again, Godspeed.